Okay, so if you followed along in the last video, you should have your editor open, whatever that may be. Whether you're using Atom or Sublime Text or you're using VS Code like you are here, you should be able to see the same sort of... Okay, so at this point, we should be looking at somewhat the same thing. My text editor size is bumped up, so it's going to be looking a little bit larger than yours. But basically, we have our app installed using Create React Native App, using this technology called Xcode to get things up and running much easier. So this is a little bit more awesome than following the official instructions where we're having to install a whole bunch of stuff and sitting around and waiting. Now, if we want to get this up and running with an iOS simulator, we need to head to the Apple Store here and we want to type in Xcode. Now, if you don't have Xcode installed already, you want to make sure that you have it installed via the App Store here. You can see right here, it is a large package, so I can guarantee it's going to take a very long time to download. But after you get it downloaded and installed, you'll be using it in all sorts of ways, and you can even use the simulator in a bunch of different ways. So if you do not have Xcode, go ahead and install it. Pause this video and wait until it's done installing. Okay, so now that Xcode is installed, we'll want to close out the App Store and we're going to want to make sure that our Xcode command line tools are installed. I'm going to hit Command D. This is just an iTerm thing to split up a new window. You can always open up a new window, and it doesn't matter from what directory because this is a global thing, but we want to type in Xcode select install. And now it's going to ask us if it would like to install the Xcode command line tools. We're going to click install, we're going to click agree, and it's going to grab the latest version for us. If you've ever used Git or many other things, you've probably already installed these. So if you get installed, and then we're going to get this fired up on the simulator. Okay, so now that all that is installed, I'm going to hit Control-C on our previous version that was running over here. I'm going to close this tab out, and let me do Command-K to clear this window. And what we want to run this time instead of npm start is npm run iOS. Okay, and this is going to start up our package manager, but it's also going to get this up and running on our simulator, which is npm start is sort of assuming that you're running on your device, right? Running on the Expo app. But run iOS is going to make sure that it gets fired up in the simulator, which obviously only exists if you installed Xcode. Or in the next video, we're going to be talking about npm run Android, which is going to be able to simulator. You can't shake it like this because that just flat out doesn't work. You can click the window, we can come up to hardware, and we can do shake gesture, which you can see is also this command here, which could be Control-Command-Z. You can see it takes us here, or we could do, like I said, shake gesture. Brings us up the same information. Now, to prove that this is in fact our actual React Native application, let's head back to our VS Code. Let's open up app.js, and let's go ahead and check this out. You can see we all have these text tags here. Let's go ahead and delete some of these text tags. Now, if you don't know a whole lot about React, or if you don't know a whole lot about React Native, do not worry, we're going to be going over a lot of this stuff here. But what this is here is essentially a React component, right? And if you've never used a React component, we basically have a class with a render function, and the render function is what's going to get displayed. And then we have a return statement, which is actually what's going to get displayed here. Now, inside of our return, we have JSX code, which looks a whole lot like HTML, but is a little bit different. And in addition to being different, normally it's even more different within React Native because we don't have like a paragraph tag or something like that. We have a view tag and a text tag, but it looks like HTML nonetheless. Let's go ahead and highlight this open app.js to start working on your app, and we can simply type in hello world. Okay, save this. And when we save, we can head back to our simulator and see hello world already exists. So you can see the immediate benefits of using React Native right here. We don't have to paw through a whole bunch of configuration code and stuff like that. We have what looks like HTML inside of a class here. We even have some CSS-esque styles going on over here, which we'll definitely get into in this series. But as you can see here, just like that, we have our app up and running on the iOS simulator, and we don't need to use any sort of actual device. So if you don't own an iOS device, you can certainly develop an iOS app still. Okay, so this is getting set up with an iOS simulator using Xcode, Create React Native App, and Expo. In the next video, I'm going to be showing you the same process to get set up, and we can use an Android emulator. So as always, this is Scott with Level Up Tutorials. If you enjoyed this series, if you want to learn more about React Native, head to store.leveluptutorials.com, and you can purchase the rest of the series where we're going to dive into really exploring the very basics of React Native. React Native is an amazing platform where you can use your already useful React skills to build real native applications, and these aren't a web view with a website running inside of an app. This is a legit application right here. Cool. So as always, check it out. In the next video, we're going to get this going with Android.